us, give us some ideas. Of course, we are also open to formal meetings at the embassy or elsewhere so that we can pursue these ideas. But tonight, if there are those who really feel they would want to share in this sort of format, please feel free to do so. Because what we intend to do also is not just to improve our relations with you, but also to improve the relations amongst yourselves. Ultimately, and this is my vision, is you have so many Zimbabweans here, but we are invisible.
True.
We are totally invisible. When do we become visible? It's when you have something negative.
True.
When you have something negative,
Very
that's
true.
when Zimbabweans become visible. How can we become visible? You are so many. And my hope and my vision is that as we meet with each and every one of you, or meet the various sectors that you are operating in, we could one day have champions from within your groups who can then meet champions from other groups. I can inform you that we have an intention of meeting those who are in the business sector. Some of you struggle that. I have just done some arbitrary groupings, but some of you are both in business and in the social influencers group, in the media group. We are looking at those who are in farming, in the medical space, many others, academics. But my intention is, once we have met, hopefully we can get champions from these groups who will say, Mr. Ambassador, we want to establish a bigger network, a wider network that brings those who are willing and ready to work with others into that. And we will be, I can assure you, we will have our full support.
Amen.
So please enjoy. I want to leave this space for those who may be willing. Just first, we need to know each other. And my phone just rang at one time to tell me that I must stop talking. No, Mr. Gwens, please preside over the introductions. Start yourself.
My name is Shepherd Gwenzi. I'm the Minister Plenipotentiary and Deputy Head of Mission and Head of Chancellery at the Zimbabwe Embassy in Victoria. I'm only a week and a few days old in this city. We'll finish with this table, then we go to this one, or that one, then that last table.
We are the lucky person. Good evening, everyone. Indulgence Tinashi. I'm in the mining space and industrial ties. I'm also a founder of an organization called Walking the African Chain with my business partner. And we're a development agency with a particular focus on youth development in the agricultural space, as well as entrepreneurial ventures. So that's me. Happy to meet all of you. I know quite a few faces. You know. Hi.
What's up, Tash?
Thank you.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Hi. My name is Precious. I do a lot. I'm an author. I'm a social entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. I run a training and development company, a tech company, a magazine, and slowly moving into energy. But we do entrepreneurship ventures where we host events that capacitates leaders, entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs. So to that effect, we've designed an accelerator program. So it's also open for women. It was designed by women for women. Yeah, in a nutshell. But you can also get my books on Amazon.
Greetings everyone. My name is Kanye Mangoti. I don't do a lot like you. But the few I do it fast. I'm from Milan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Short and
How did
sweet.
it travel?
Oh, yeah, let's continue. Yeah. Good evening, everybody. My name is Norman Kamumbu. I'm also from Zulu Pungani, and my title is I'm a regional manager for Gauteng province. Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Kuti. I work with Elena. So basically, in a nutshell, I'm in the beauty and the medical field. We do IV treatment. So if you need any shot of anything, I'm your girl.
Hello everyone, my name is Shugor Batika. It's really good to meet you all. I'm a broadcaster and I'm in the media space. Thank you.
Okay, my name is SIS MELLY live. I'm an influencer. I'm an advocate for women, children, people who are oppressed, the hungry ones, etc. I'm an influencer. I'm a socialite. I'm a celebrity.
Imagine coming after that.
It's a tall order, yeah?
Brag as well, show us.
Okay, so I'm Tendai Bosa, and I'm a pharmacist by profession, but I'm a reproductive health consultant. I help women who are struggling with reproductive health conditions to be able to better manage them and to connect them with the right doctors. Coming into South Africa, it took 9 doctors for me to get my diagnosis, and I'm a pharmacist. So I imagine what happens to someone who has no idea why their period does not come and they're 33. So that is what I do mostly, and the best part is the women I work with, when they fall pregnant and they have babies, that's the icing on the cake for me. So that's what I do.
I never talk. So my name is MK. I'm a photographer with FMG. We do content for content creators. Yeah.
Hi, good evening to everyone. My name is Mobois Munetsi. I'm the chairman for Great Hope. It used to be Great Hope Funeral, but it's going to be Great Hope Insurance because we are now expanding to. It's becoming an insurance company. So.
Yay!
So I just want to give a credit to Nicoletti. She joined us around October, November, and she has done a huge impact to our organization. We've managed to tine nzvimbo dzatakapinda, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and I hope Ambassador is here, he can listen. IPEC is considering our application for us to operate in Zimbabwe. We've done everything, so we'll be expanding to Zimbabwe. So yeah, this is Great Hope. We are safe to serve.
Good day, everyone.
Great.
Good day, everyone. Thank you, Ambassador. My name is Johnny Sai. Maromo is my surname, so I'm called Maromo often. My first name is difficult. So I'm a journalist. I'm a reporter. I write for independent media. Independent, we produce Victoria News, The Star, and IOL. Like my brother, I'm a reporter like him. So I would wish as well with your permission, Ambassador, to get contact of all of you. Write your stories whenever you can. I love to write stories. When I approach your numbers, not for one in our area, we do stories. When I have a good story to tell, and they are Zimbabwean, I would love to do that. I'm sure I've written a few about Zimbabweans doing well, There's few Zimbabweans who do bad as well. That's what we do every day. It's true. So they'll be surprised if people see us sitting here that we are Zimbabweans. But the perception out there about Zimbabweans is bad.
Yeah.
People will argue, a local person would forgive them as well to think that they are Zimbabweans who are light-skinned. They don't know that part. They've met dark-skinned Zimbabweans.
And it's
There's a time to showcase our people.
Sure.
Let those who do
Sure.
this work as well.
Sure,
we
sure,
want
sure.
your stories.
Yes.
You guys speak for
Yes,
you.
we're going to give
We
you
love
stories.
your stories. And those good ones. Let's do those stories. I'm sure I'm audible enough. So please, before we separate, I would want to exchange contacts. Let's network. Let's talk. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yes. Munya.
Hello everyone, my name is Mnyazi Dongo, aka Mr. M Dongo. So I am an entrepreneurship trainer, I'm a business coach, and I'm an automator. So we do everything online. So be it if you are having your own business, you want to put it online, you want to grow it online, we actually look into that. Authors, I can see we have so many authors here. You need to go online and make some money, because there's so many ways that you can actually do to grow your own brand online. So I'm also an author of 2 books. One of it, I have it here, it's called No More Excuses for Me, and many more other things. So I love also to interview other people who are doing something that is very inspiring, because my theme, or the theme of my company is called Inspired to Inspire. So I also love to do interviews. I think I've done some with some of you here. So let's get in touch, and then I also wanted to have a sit down, a Zoom coffee with you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Fungai Moyo. I'm not a celebrity like SIS MELLY, but I think it's Zorro, I'm a celebrity. And I'm the customer experience manager at Zorro Online.
Elena.
I've been prompted to also introduce myself. I'm David Hamadziripi. I'm your ambassador here to South Africa. Thank you.
Imagine the honor following the ambassador. My name is Elena Mangena. I'm the short and spicy one all the time. I am okay.
Makeup artist.
Okay, yeah. I think most people know me as your favorite makeup artist. We have to be very specific with that one. Favorite makeup artist and award-winning author.
Yeah. Yes.
And I'm an author. I'm an image consultant. I'm trying to remember. Also, yes, that we work together. So we run an IV bar. If you want vitamins, if you want hangover, your people to just sort you out on that. We also have the flash cam. Like we do a couple of things. We are those people that will put our hands on anything. I hate to say you want stories, we have amazing stories. I have the face for TV, I have the face for camera, so I'm very excited to be meeting everybody.
I like your confidence, girl.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Vanessa Monde, but everyone calls me V. I am a social media influencer. I started my journey by #ending girl hate, one post at a time. So I post content that encourages young women to be educated, to follow their own paths, make their own money, do their own thing, be a girl boss. And professionally, I'm an account director for a company called SRL & Partners. We work with the biggest, I like to think of them as the biggest media house, eMedia. And so I manage a lot of those brands, and I look forward to networking with all the media people that are in the room tonight. But yeah, that is me in a nutshell. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, I was being taught to be one. I hope I managed to do the correct thing there. My name is Anos Machinji, and I'm with the Zimbabwe Embassy. And I invited all of you here.
Good evening, everybody, and I must start off by saying that I'm absolutely humbled to be invited to such an event. My name is Adeline Mackenzie Hensel. which has to put on tonight. Firstly, I am 34 years in South Africa. Okay. I am the talk show host of a talk show called Ndino Taro Jondinola. I am the marketing director of Jet TV, currently airing on StarSat Channel 417. I am also a businesswoman, entrepreneur. I am in the medical space, medical consumables, devices, ophthalmology, and in theater use products. I am into logistics and energy, and a whole lot of other things.
Am I live on SIS MELLY Diaries?
Yes, they are seeing you.
Are you sure?
Are you married?
Yeah? Yes, I'm married.
Okay.
I'm married, yeah.
He's married, guys.
Thank you so much, Ambassador and team embassy staff, for the invite. I'm very much honored to. It's my first time being at the Ambassador's place, and it's a great honor for me. My name is White Mongwira, aka Pastor White. I'm into the film and television productions. I do reality shows that I broadcast on SABC and Mnet. Date My Family, Utatako, Please Step In, Married at First Sight, Saving Our Marriage, and also recently started working on The Wife, which is on Showmax. I also worked with Lady Ants at TV, our very first Zimbabwean channel. We're doing exceptionally well. I'm glad. I also work with Nicholas, the husband. We're working on a very first Pan-African reality show. I'm not allowed to speak much. Yes, I'm not allowed to speak much. So me and my big mouth, hey. So very soon you'll be seeing a lot of exciting stuff on Netflix, Zim Originals, as well as a big Pan-African series. First of its kind on Netflix, so it's coming soon. So we are very much excited. Also can brag, SIS MELLY was bragging, can brag that the ambassador and I went to the same school, Silogasins High School, but Sambe, he was there of course much earlier than me, I was there much later. And we were in the same house, a school in Night Bruce, so it was great chatting with the ambassador. I came a bit early, and he has accepted our invite for him to come to our studios, and we are honored to have him. So I'm very thankful and grateful for the opportunity to network with all of you and the guys in the media sector, who network some more during the event. Thank you so much. Thank you. Move on to the last table.
Good evening, everyone. I am Nicolette Matuku. I'm the only one who knows everybody in this room. You never know me in this room.
No one.
Right. So yeah. Chelsea, we are not giving you that deal. Anyway, so I am. I wear so many hats, but I'm going to try and give you the best of 4 or 5. I am CEO of the Zima Chivas, the very famous Zima Chivas. I am business development manager for Great Hope. I'm sure you have seen things are happening.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm also co-founder of Walking the African Journey. I also sit on many boards in the agriculture sector within the African continent. And I think I've worked with almost all of you, so I'm happy. So when I look at myself today, I'm like, yay, look at everyone who's done well, everyone who's worked together. It's exactly what the ambassador is trying to do. Let's come together in one room and, let's work together. Let's give each other those deals. So I'm the one who works with most of you guys. I'm excited to meet those I haven't met, and I'm excited to work with you. So yay, thank you. And I'm the last born to Mama Ambassador.
Is it pinned down? You have to announce everything that you do. Alright, I'm her brother, so I'm done. As my brother, the media, since we're wearing Fabiani together, I'm the lighter one. Yes, we do have colored people in Zimbabwe, and one of them. Okay, my name is Kelsey, aka Kelsey the Don, and I call myself the Prime Minister of Music. but I'm a music executive and an entertainment executive. On behalf of SIS MELLY Diaries, thank you so much for the opportunity of allowing me to work with you. My passion is people, and that's why I'm here, because I like to join people together. I'm the engine normally, so you won't see me in front, but I'm a nuisance. So if you get to deal with me, just know that I can call you at 3 a.m. and ask you, what time are we doing this thing? So that's pretty much, but I wear so many hats when it comes to not only just entertainment. I'm the head of so many other things. You might have to speak to me and get in depth so that you know exactly, but as I said, Prime Minister of Music is the biggest hat I wear, and entertainment, and I take care of anything and everyone in terms of development. I believe in making sure people's complete personal achievements are seen and actually heard and felt. So I'll never let you sit down and sleep and be like, I'm comfortable. I make sure you're uncomfortable until they achieve. So thank you so much, guys.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. My name is Munyarazi Chanesa. I too wear many hats, as everyone does. I'll say my 9-to-5 job, I am the managing director of an American-based company, music publishing company, which specifically we focus on songwriters and producers. So my job is to find the best songwriters and producers, and well, 3 things I'll do for you. Protect your work, I make sure you get your royalties, and the 3rd thing is get you more work as a songwriter or producer. So that's my one hat. Second hat, I am also the founder of a platform, an online platform called Moti Africa. Moti stands for Masters of the Industry. I'm a big advocate of education within the music space because a lot of people do not understand, and a lot of money is lost. And through this platform, right now it's video based. I just made it a free platform, so because I believe the information is necessary and needed. So it's a free platform, you can just register, access, and there's videos I've put on already, just explaining the basics, understanding a brand, understanding the different ways of making money in the music space, as well as some interviews with some key industries, some key companies that are doing things in the music space. So that's also that. I am also, well, as of in December, I was made the host of the Johnny Walker Keep Walking Africa Top 30 show, which is a show that highlights just top Africans on the continent, just doing things, looking for young, inspiring ones that can inspire more. So, and we just recently started doing a podcast for that as well. So the podcast is also going to be coming out soon. And then lastly, I'll say I just recently started entering farming. So I'm going to be looking at feedlotting actually. That's what's my area that I'm looking at in that space. And yeah, other than that, nice to meet everyone.
Okay, guys, just one more thing, yeah? I'm going to introduce everyone on the table now, I'm just joking. She just reminded me of something very, very important I forgot to state. You know, guys, that people in countries are filling up stadiums, correct? Now, there's a gentleman that has decided to call it Zaza Fill Up National Sports Stadium. I back that guy, and I work with him very closely, and I would hope that this will be an opportunity for you guys to be involved and be positive, as the ambassador said. There's a lot of us that don't know exactly what we're doing, we're burying each other, but if we uplift him, trust me, it's not just for him, it's actually for the country. Correct?
What is it happening?
Just before the elections.
Oh.
I'm not going to give you the exact date. Should I introduce?
Yeah. Thank you so much. My name is Charlotte. I just want to ask each one of you, do you have a funeral policy?
Yes, it's Zororo.
Are you covered?
Very much.
Because we can laugh and eat and enjoy, but by the end of the day, we need to repatriate you back home. So each one of you need to have a policy. I work for Zororo Pumlani in Kempton Park. We have a branch in Kempton Park, that's where I am. And my side hustle, I'm a CCG events planner. So if you want to get married, if you want to have a birthday, parties, everything, I'm here to assist you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Even looking for husband, I can provide that. Yeah, I can
everything. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Namako Sarzana, but everyone calls me Mako, so you can call me Mako. It's fine. If you can call me Namako Sarzana, it's still fine. I am the managing director of Fala Media and Services. Fala Media and Services is a publishing company, so we tell African stories through writing, through books. And then I'm also an author of a book entitled Millennial Woman. I published the book in 2018, so yeah, I've been a writer for a while. And then the book gave birth to one of my most exciting projects, that is Millennial Woman Magazine. We have our next issue coming out in March, so all the millennial ladies that are in here, I am your gal. I am your gal. And then I also work as an independent market researcher and social researcher. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Are we done?
No. My name is Georgina, and I work for Zororo Kumlani, the post and the agent.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
I think I'm going to start by sharing a little story, which is I work for the African Union now, but when I started off, some of you may know me from Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, which is a German political foundation. I work as a political consultant. And when the African Union had vacancies for the position that I have now, I used to say to a friend of mine, I don't want to work for an African organization. It's not very organized. A lot of things on the continent do not work because, a lot of things do not work. And he said to me, why do you not join the organization? If you're efficient and extent, why don't you join? And I applied and I got the position. And I think I always share that story because I think as much as we think there's a sort of negative perception around things involving, there's even a bigger negative perception about being African and the continent being regarded as a dark continent where nothing can come out of it. So I think being part of a continental institution and changing the narrative has been one of the biggest sort of outputs and impacts of my work. And I I represent Southern Africa, which is about 14 countries, and I represent Youth Peace Builders Networks. Awesome.
Sorry, do you have a name?
Cynthia.
She didn't say.
Yeah.
No, she didn't introduce herself.
I'm a trainer.
Yeah, I think. No, she didn't.
I am Cynthia Jubinyam, the African Youth Ambassador for Southern Africa.
Lovely. Yes, my name is Dr. Hamadziripi. I only wear one name tonight, apart from being the spouse of the ambassador. I started an organization which I run from here full time. We train youth in Zimbabwe to equip them with entrepreneurial skills. We work very closely with the Ministry of Youth. We are registered with the Ministry of Higher Education in Zimbabwe. We work in communities. We don't have a school, we go in communities, and we work with local authorities in each community that we go to get the beneficiaries and trainees who are ready. And we equip them with entrepreneurial skills. We've trained a lot of youth in space in farming, engineering, beauty, retail, quite a lot of different spaces. And it is very fulfilling for me to see the young people doing something. Some are already employing other youth as well. And we train not just the business skills, we also train life skills like communication,
We train what we call national agenda topics like drug and sexual abuse awareness, environment, climate change. Because we believe that as an entrepreneur today, in this century, you need to be wholesome. You need to have that holistic approach that we keep them with. I'm very excited with what I do back home, and I'm very grateful to God that He has honored me to trust me with these people, to equip them in that way. That's who I am. Thank you.
Say, sorry. Zimselebu, come here. Come and stand here, Louis. Zimselebu, come and stand here. Come and stand here. Come and stand here. Zimselebu.
Good evening, everyone.
Zimselebu.
My name is Louis
John.
I'm a social media strategist. I'm the founder of Zimcelebs.
Zimcelebs. Oyo!
Sorry about that before you go on. Louis John, an actual platform again. You know my name.
Ayo, bro, pisar right, Joseph. Tumure guy.
Thank you very much. Just imagine, we have listened to everybody here introducing themselves and telling us the space they are in. Just imagine what capital we have here, what wealth, and how are we using it? To what end? It is my ambition, my hope, that we can even give a tenth of that to develop our country. You see, many people tell you today, there's nothing to do in Zimbabwe, there is nothing to go and do in Zimbabwe. And I'm saying, you are a Zimbabwean. So who do you think should be building that home for you? Who should be doing it for us? I think this is something that I would really encourage you to keep at the back of your minds. If you can't do it for yourself, do it for your relatives who are back home. Because that now see at a piece of they have homes back home. It is well and good to enjoy the bright lights, the good life here, everything. But one day you go home. And you must. Even if it's just for a visit. What type of home do you want to go back to? But that is something that I leave to you. And of course, it's your individual decision. But I want to encourage you to think in your plans, in everything that you do. Just think about where you came from. So, I promised you, I will give those who have the courage, who have the willingness tonight, just to share with me, with us, some views you may have. I know many of you say, Ambassador, this is a very good initiative. I'm happy. But how do we go from there? How do you think we can improve on this relationship? And even going beyond that, not just the embassy and yourselves, but even the wider community. Because as I said, we are having a series of these engagements. And at the end of it, I want to sit down with my team and say, what did we learn? How do we take it forward? And who do we want to talk to? And if they are volunteers to be champions, please indicate you may not need to do it publicly, but you can signal to us that you will be willing to be considered among the champions for this group or another group, so that when we then bring in the champions together, you may be counted among them. So, I see all of you do have some publications. You are confident. Anyone who wants to just say a few words, I will limit you because everybody wants to say something. Yes, miss.
Is it okay if I go after that? The hand was up first.
Yes.
Wow. You see, the thing is, if I am standing here, I have got the license to exercise.
Sorry, I just have two suggestions that I have to submit. Maybe to Mama Hamadziripi as well. I've had an opportunity of working with a lot of less privileged people from back home. I think I've been to your office about that. I think there are a lot of Zimbabweans that are living in non-healthy environments, and most of the students are not going to school. I think there are a couple of centers I can identify, maybe others that others know. We've tried to set up some centers, like library center initiative for them. But I think it needs a more of like a holistic approach, because when you go there with one arm, there's an issue of maybe drugs, there's an issue of with negativity and things like that. There are a couple of centers that I know. So I just thought that, it's a generation that is being wasted, and they are Zimbabweans. And like you said, like on a day-to-day basis, then there are reports of those negative things. I was just thinking that as a community, even as we meet today and as we go forward, is there any way we can unite our efforts to reach out to those people that are struggling in terms of like even our food hampers, that we can just send out books, that we can send out medical, like anything, first aid stuff that we can send out, and also just engage, maybe there can be people that can champion in different communities, just making sure they can go in a nice way and things like that, and that can be cultivated on a month-to-month basis, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yes,
Okay, Ambassador. Okay, in everything that I do and the different hats that I wear, when I came to South Africa, I'm actually a qualified regulator-based pharmacist. And my passion is women's healthcare and gender-based violence. I talk about my own story. I am a survivor of gender-based violence by a Zimbabwean man. And nothing was done about it.
Yes, go girl.
That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, being in the healthcare industry, it pains my heart, and forgive me if I get a little bit emotional this evening, that our healthcare system has to get to a point where kubuda social media teaching embarrassed to that extent kunzianzi at quality is so much champions in medical industry tiripo. I have headed medical companies here in South Africa before I went to entrepreneur. I worked at Adcock Ingram. I was the marketing director. I headed Pfizer. I was at Pfizer. I was at BioHealthcare. I was at Kimberly Clark. I was at Nampak, to mention that a few. My passion, Ambassador and Chichimo Changu, is that you've just spoken about taking what we are doing here and taking it back home. Ambassador, I have tried, trying to take what I am doing here to go, and I've knocked on the doors of all your ministers to Zimbabwe. Repeated meetings. You will fly, you will get calls to meetings, nothing is actioned, they don't take you seriously. I started by introducing myself. I'm here for 34 years. Panabango are all out of the house. I've got nothing here. My family, my mom, everything is back home. I don't want the knowledge and the experience that I have developed here in South Africa. My passion is to take what I've learned in the medical industry. Why can't we do skills transfer programs? I offered to take over a women's clinic in Mbari at my own cost and redevelop it in partnership with government. The door was slammed in my face. The late Doug, I sat in his office repeatedly. Ndichiti, I want to do this for government. I even went as far as saying, Ndi pay 2 theaters kupare, Ndi renovator. We run it in a public-private partnership with government. The door was slammed in my face. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, Ambassador, is that Chido Chacho Cheku Torama access to finance, Kuno Tinacho. Asikana Twinda Uko. We are not winning. We are not winning. I don't want to die here. I've got no passion for this country anymore. I want to be back home. Help me.
Thank you. That is very.
Can I go after her because it comes together?
Pedze kuti pinde wewe. Ah, taura tida kutaurawo. Tida kutaurawo.
Just to echo what she said, as a female reproductive health consultant, it pains me that a lot of Zimbabweans that don't have money, that don't have medical aid, do not get the help. It's not just like what you see. I have worked in government hospitals. What you see on the videos is nothing. When you're sitting there, they tell you, where's your passport? You don't have a passport and you don't get the help. So women are suffering, they're having miscarriages and they're dying. And there's no one out there to help them. And because maybe they are undocumented, they could be undocumented, but they're still from Zimbabwe. And someone needs to help them. And the platforms that we have, even as Zimbabweans, don't necessarily support and help these women, because I'm more into women's health, like I said. So my ask is that remember these women, because these are the mothers of the future generation of Zimbabwe. And if they're suffering and there's no one out there to help them, and just a pharmacist who's not even working in the pharmacy is a problem. Because like I'm saying, we were pushing 1,000 scripts a day, and you find a few Zimbabweans, then the script comes through, their names called to those names, because our names in the Wikipedia are very different from names here. So imagine women that I have worked with or helped. We ended up having to speak with other doctors who want to do pro bono work, to know that a woman is bleeding, she was sent back home because they say she didn't have documentation. Then we have to speak to private doctors to do pro bono work, because I don't have money yet to help them. So that's what we do. So if you were to help us help the women who are already here.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ambassador. I'm looking more at the revival of the film TV industry in Zimbabwe. I've been active in the South African film TV industry for close to 10 years now. And my passion is to see Zim TV productions on big streaming platforms like Netflix,
yes,
Amazon, and Hulu. So what we did, Ambassador, I was speaking with Ambassador earlier on, Zimbabwe is running the film TV industry here in South Africa, Gauteng province. We gathered together, we wrote a nice script, it's ready to go on air on Netflix. We're about to go into productions. We're facing a few challenges here, there. And what we're just asking for is the endorsement from the Zim government. And I'm glad that we have journalists. If we can have your publicity as well, Zim Celeb, SIS MELLY, we are just after publicity, and I'm glad that we've already scheduled a formal appointment with Ambassador for help, so that the TV series is able to go on air early next year. So basically my point is on let's revive our film TV industry. So far we have got 2 movies on Netflix.
Yes.
We have Cook Off, and the other one, someone has reminded me of the other one that is on Netflix. But if you can have a TV series on Netflix, it will certainly help. Thank you so much.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Ambassador, I stand for you, and there's so many opportunities that we actually have as youth. Talking from my background, I grew up without, and thank God I was exposed to some of the things. And I just also had the passion to go and try to find what is it that I can actually do out there. And when I looked back, last year, when I was actually sitting one day, I looked at my customer list. I have 34 countries in my client list. And in Zim, I only have got 3 clients that are there in Zim, and 3 people that I'm working with in Zim. And I said, what is going on? What's wrong with me? I have people in Australia, in US, in Canada that I am helping to build their own businesses online, offline, and they're all growing. But what is going on at my home? And then I started to go back home, looking to partnership, looking to actually partner with other companies there. And yeah, the knocking on the doors, you're gonna knock doors until your hands are not painful. So I don't know, Mr. Ambassador, what can you do to also help us? The only thing that I can ask is an introduction. Can you introduce us to the key people that we can be able to partner with? Because I know if I can go on myself to minister who and who is going to say, who is this boy? But if an ambassador is saying, okay, I would like you to meet Munya, he is 111, then I know I have got everything. So please open those doors for us. We really, really need you to do a lot of work back home, because Zim, that's where my heart beats each and every time. So help us to do that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Okay, all right, Ambassador, thank you for the opportunity of inviting us here together as business people, influencers, and so forth. It's an honor for us to be here. Hey, I've got quite a lot of things that I want to say. Please just give me about 20 minutes of First of all, muti recognize the whole as social life. We are at work.
Yeah, sure.
And listen, Louis. We are at work. So to recognize the whole, please. Secondly, I don't know, Ambassador, as you know that this particular thing is fighting.
And to accommodate everyone, this can
Okay. All right. Okay. Secondly, Mr. Ambassador, we know, as you know, that what has been happening last year with this development in Africa, people are quite uncertain of what is going to happen in June. I think you kind of know that they are saying June everybody must go back home. So I'm here on behalf of the Zimbabweans that are watching on live, that have sent me to you. I am their mouthpiece right now to say, please, if there is anything that you can do for Zimbabweans that are not documented, so that they can actually stay. Because remember when it came, it just came as a shock. They just said, we don't want Zimbabweans, they must just go. Some were not even prepared. Some they don't even have anywhere to stay even when they go back home. So if you can please try and negotiate, I know you've got the power, I know you can do it, to negotiate with the South African government if something can be done so that they can stay. Or to those who want to go home, if you can probably maybe provide them with transport so that they can go home. That would be a very good deed. Right. Secondly, to those who are willing to go home with nothing, they don't have anything. You know, most of the Zimbabweans that are here, they are living in shacks and those kind of places. You know, because I've been helping them. I help them a lot. We go there, we give them food parcels, we taking their bodies back home. Sometimes we don't have the money, we are burying them in here. When they go back home, there is nothing. They don't have anywhere to stay. So I don't know, with the authority and the power that we have, if you can speak to the government that these people that are coming here, they must be recognized back home. They can be given even a little portion, a stand, whereby they can build even a 2-roomed house or anything, so that they can start, their lives. Because even them staying here with no profession, with nothing, it's just gonna be the same thing. So at least back home, you are okay, you are speaking Shona, there's no home affairs behind you, things are gonna be okay. So if there's something that you can do to help them, can you please help them? the third one, this medical issue thing, that whereby people, when they go to the hospital, they are being chased away, like because they don't have papers, because you belong to this government of and what. People are being labeled, they are given names, they are saying a lot of hateful things and a lot of nasty words. I don't know how best you can help us, because the situation is getting worse. Worse and worse. Like today, there's a video that is circulating on social media that I got early hours of this morning, whereby this the pregnant woman was chased away from the hospital. Where is she going to go? If it's a public hospital and they're chasing her away, obviously she doesn't have money to go to a private doctor. So that means she can die at home, or anything worse can be done. It can do a thing, or can happen at home. So we actually pleading with you, Mr. Ambassador, to help us in all those areas, even the widows, even the orphans. If there is something that you can do for them, food parcels as the ambassador to these orphans, widows, please help us. I think you know me and my organization, I can say me and the Diaries family, my people that follows me from all over the world, we helped a lot of people. Thank you to Zorro Pumulani, because I've partnered with Zorro Pumulani right now. They are helping a lot. Whenever I've got a cause, I go to them. Normally they don't reject, they come in. But it will be an honor, and it will be something that will be powerful if we can also get funds from you, or not even funds, food parcels from you, so that we can also recognize those people that are less privileged elsewhere. Because we are living large, some are living very large, but the others are going to bed hungry with nothing to eat. The issue of kids that are not going to school because they don't have papers, they're not allowed in other schools. Also, that's a main key issue that you have to look into it as well, so that every child deserves a right to education. They must go to school, whether in SA or in Zim. So, Mr. Munez, I think I'm speaking what I was saying by people. What is in the comment section?
Yeah, they are just saying we hear the voice of the voiceless.
Yes. So those are the things that we want. And also, this is directed to you, right, Mr. Filmmaker, right? If you're doing the things, if you work together, as he said, let's work together. He's trying to bring us together, right? Also consider other people. We don't want to see people that we don't know. You guys, you're making these films, you're taking South Africans to be in these films. Young Zimbabweans, we are there, and we can act.
Yes, I like it. It's sure.
Take us in. Let's make the works there.
Yeah.
Mr. Ambassador, tell the people, the high-rank officials at home, if we come with our problems, they must also listen to us. They must not just shut us out, because we are powerful. We are powerful as we are. We say one word. Like myself, I know I am very powerful. Yes. Sometimes I provoke my government purposely, knowing that they are listening and they are watching. And what sometimes they know I talk sense. I provoke them today. Tomorrow, what I'm saying is done.
Great.
It's done.
Great.
So we work
much.
together, but we try and provoke them, because if we try to go direct, they shut the door on us. So we provoke them on social media, because we work there. I provoke them to say, like, these other issues that have been there, like to say, why are you quiet in this? Tomorrow the press release statement is out.
Thank you.
So thank you very much.
Thank you. So I think I just wanted to respond from a medical perspective. First, I'll start with the women side. As you know, Great Hope is now an insurance company. We have merged together with Discovery. And one of the things that we're working on is getting healthcare for women, for Zimbabwean women. So we are a Zimbo insurance company getting into the health, medical aid and medical thing. And then secondly, so watch the space from February for women health issues and everything. We got you. We are also partnering with Zimbabwean doctors. I think my husband and I went to the Kenyan embassy and we learned a lot, and we then started our initiative that is like that. So Kenyans have registered Kenyan medical doctors, and all Kenyans staying in South Africa go to those people for medical health. So we just started that. We are listing medical doctors.
Yes.
So we start helping as much as we can. If we get enough funds, we'll have our own little clinic, our own little hospital. So we start helping people. So yeah, that's a new solution that we are starting. So yeah.
Awesome.
That's something. That's something at least.
Okay. Start somewhere. It is very important. You are already defining, circumscribing what you are doing. What is going to be a huge thing. You want to appreciate that.
Yes.
Okay, this is quite an interesting conversation we have here. Especially, sorry, I like putting my hands in the pocket every time I wear something pocket. It's not being disrespectful. So I think there's such a great desire in the room to translate whatever we're learning here to Zimbabwe. I think you can tell how passionate everybody is talking about whatever skill, whatever opportunity you're given here to actually take it home. But I think we need to derive also, as much as we are asking a lot from the ambassador, I think some of the solutions have to come to us. What's the best way we can do? Since now we are here and putting heads together, we might have tried individually and it didn't work, but I think now as a force is coming together, I think we can do change things. I think one of the things that I didn't mention, because I know most people know me as a makeup artist, that's why when I wrote a book and it won an award, everybody was shocked, like, how does a makeup artist write a book and it wins an award? I have a little bit of background in law, I have a little bit of background in business. So one of the things that I do, which I'm very passionate about, is skills development. So I get to train people with the skills that I have, that I learned. And I'm grateful that I have over 50 active students that are currently doing what I do even better. Because I decided that if I could do something that I learned self-taught and it has literally moved my life, I think I can do those things with others. But now I take my skill back home. And let me tell you, it's tough to do a masterclass home. And as much as they're excited to see me there, and there's only like 10, 15 people that get to the place. So I think what we need to work on is how do we translate, how do we engage as well with the Zimbabwean market? As much as I made the big this side, what is the communication? Because I realize the big thing back home, the online presence is actually almost not there. So I can be so much big here, I can be so telling them, all right, with makeup, I've literally managed to meet the ambassador. Because he knew me through because of makeup. Before he knew me that I was an author and I won an award, etc. So because these are millennial careers that are actually changing the trajectory of our lives completely. So now let's just continue pushing. But I just love that we are here. So imagine all of us. Right now I have a masterclass that is happening in Harare. So imagine instead of if you post me, if you post me, I have the opportunity to have more than 100 people coming in that. But because we're doing it as a collective, if I did it by myself, I would only have 10 people. But if we get, you push me. Like I didn't know there was a female platform. I'm actually bad with a lot of music, especially Zimbabwean music. I'm glad to know there's platforms that I actually bring in Zimbabwean music because I look for it, I can't find it. And when I go home and they're playing music, I'm like, okay, who's this? What's happening? So I think we are all passionate about taking the skills home. So now I tell people I'm making a masterclass in Zimbabwe 27 February.
Sorry, Ambassador, just on that one, that Elena is saying, I'm not saying it's you, but let's call a spade here. Normally what is happening, us Zimbabweans, we are greedy. Somebody says, okay, I'm training some people this. Remember, we're talking to other people who want this training. They don't have money. You are charging absolute, like these monies that are very high. Can you, if you want to teach people, can you please make reasonable prices so that you can try and accommodate everyone? Remember, it's not about only you to have the food to eat and whatnot. You also want to empower people that are back home in Zimbabwe. They don't have the money. Let's make reasonable prices when doing these things. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Chaneta.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador. I would just like to speak on creative industries. I think that is one industry which I think is getting neglected, especially within the music space, the film space, which you mentioned as well. But I'm just going to focus specifically on music. But in other countries on the continent, the creative industries, literally, they contribute to the GDP of economies now. That's the extent. Because, and I think the most important thing and the reason why is because they treat it like a business. I think some of the fault sometimes we focus too much on the creative side, and the creative side is the fun. But I mean, the business side is actually what I've specialized in. The business side is what is actually even, this year I'm going to be attending the Grammys because of my understanding of the music business and what it's taking. So I'm a strong advocate of education within the space. I even think to the extent it needs to be taken to even in the formal education where it's taught in schools, because as the world is changing now, it's no longer just clear-cut doctors, lawyers, but within people are making so much money doing so many creative things, especially within this digital world. And one of the things I think within this music and entertainment space that I'm in, the main reason why we're losing out is because we're not focusing on educating and we're not focusing on treating it like a business. So yeah, and hence why I actually even started my platform Multi Africa to try and just make it accessible so people can understand that this is a business. At the end of the day, at the end of the world, it's a business. So that's my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Batika.
Thank you, Excellency. My issues around my issue, Your Excellency, is around what I think is the lack of protection of Zimbabweans within the borders of South Africa. You know, there's so much that we would like to do, and there are a whole lot of us that are here legally, right? But we're all painted with the same brush.
Yeah.
And when issues surface, there is no protection.
Yeah.
You know, a few years ago there were issues around xenophobia, and the Nigerians stood up in Nigeria and said, you know what?
True.
You Irks, carry on and do this, and we will close your shops, we will shut your businesses, we will send you packing. I'd like to see a little more done for those of us that are here, because we are here legally, right? We went to the various Home Affairs offices and were granted the right to stay. So we are protected by human rights conventions. We're here legally. So as such, it's absolutely critical in my view for us to be able to move in communities to do the stuff that we want to do, that there is an official acknowledgement. You look at the Pakistanis, you look at the Indians, you look at non-blacks, Your Excellency, they have no problem, right? But when you read about illegal immigrants, some of those illegal immigrants are Asians, and people come from some of those other countries, but they don't have the problems that we have. So it is political, I fully understand, but I think as a diplomat, there are diplomatic mechanisms that can be instituted to ensure that we are protected, because once we are protected, it allows us to go into those spaces to do the stuff that many of the ladies have talked about. And my final thoughts, Your Excellency, I fully relate to Zimbabweans that have spent a lot of time here and want to go back home and want to do something, want to do stuff with government or non-government. We are perceived to be the enemy for some reason. I don't know what that reason is.
True.
But there is an assumption with the diaspora which is not true. Because like you said, Your Excellency, and at some point we all want to go back and we want to look after what's happening home. And in fact, we are sustaining Zimbabwe by virtue of what we are sending home in terms of foreign currency. So whether it's creating a forum where you say, okay, you know what, guys, there's trade fair in April, I would like to take these 50 Zimbabweans that want to go. Zimbabwean businesses. Because a lot of people in Zim have money. Some of us have access to capital and resources. So how do we synergize? So I think I would like to challenge you, Your Excellency. Kuti trade fair is like 2.5 months away. I think it's a great platform where a few Zimbabweans are able to go, where we have the diaspora stand, you know, where we chill, we have conversations with people about what we can do and what they can do for us and build those synergies. Thank you.
I am very pleased that we have been able to organize this. Because I think the feedback that I'm getting, I can tell you, is absolutely excellent. Let me say a few things and then I think I'll stop there. First and foremost, I do agree that you do have this perception towards the diaspora, which is in some instances negative.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you on the government side, we acknowledge that the diaspora is a very important part of Zimbabwe. And that is why we actually do have a Zimbabwe diaspora policy that has been adopted. And last year we were saying this diaspora policy, which was adopted in 2016, is not fully reflective of the views and interests and perspectives of those who are in the diaspora. And we launched an appeal to you to say, please make your inputs into a revision of this document. You don't know how disappointed we are by the lack of a response, partly because we are not organized, partly because we didn't know how to reach out to you. Now we know. So there is a diaspora policy that government intends to implement together with you, not for you, but with you. There is a department, a directorate in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Trade that has been established called the Diaspora Directorate. So that is when we get your comments, your views, your complaints, your issues, that is the department that we direct your queries to, your communication to. But we are also able to facilitate meetings between yourselves and that department. Let me say, I think it is very good that we can establish personal contacts, personal relations, but there are so many of you, it will be very difficult for us to really process things dealing with you on an individual basis. There are thousands of you, and I mean, there is a capacity to which we can do that. So that is why we are encouraging you to form associations, come into groups. And you know, when you come as a group, you have a stronger voice than when you come as an individual.
Yeah.
Government will listen, will stand up. Now, I want to return the challenge to you, Mr. Ribatika. First, I'm excited by the very idea of me leading a delegation of Zimbabwean diasporans from South Africa going to have a stand, an engagement, and to be seen at the ZITF this year. I want us to look at that. I am ready for it. And I can tell you, we will, in fact, we are going to convey to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs because they will have a stand. And I want to say to them, in your program, I want you to make space for a group of diasporans who are in South Africa. But I'm already doing my part. So I can assure you next week I'm writing to them. We must deliver. Don't disappoint me. So I want to challenge you. Who is going to champion this? Who is going to work with me on this? Mr. Ribatika? Thank you. You are going to mobilize those who can come. I am going to ensure that we will give you a space so we can sit down. You tell me what you have in mind. We'll make sure that you have that. I'll tell you something. God has been merciful to me. When we have started projects, we've been able to see them through, not by my power, not by my influence, but by His grace. So we'll get it done. You will be in Bulawayo, we'll go together with whoever else you bring along, and we'll have our slots. Thank you. This will be. Now, you spoke about the issue of documentation. I think you are aware of some of the efforts that we have made at the consulates to try and really improve on the delivery of documents to our people here. Not just at the consulate in Joburg and Cape Town, but we have even gone to provinces. We have mounted mobile registration exercises to Mpumalanga, to KwaZulu-Natal, to Northwest, and we have given our people the opportunity to apply for these documents. I can tell you we have the mandate to be able to give you the service of applying for birth certificates and for passports. regrettably, our current regulations do not permit us to be able to process applications for IDs. And I can tell you, it's something that we are fighting very hard for, to be given that capacity. But I want to tell you some good news. In Johannesburg, we are in the process of buying a new consulate building. By mid this year, we are moving premises. We are going to be in Bruma, bigger space, where we are going to be able to receive and deliver service to our people in dignity. We are doing that. We have already bought the building. The money is in the bank with the lawyers. We are finalizing it. So, what is going to be the advantage of this? We will receive you in dignity. But secondly, we are going to then be able to offer you the service of applying for an e-passport. So what will you do? You no longer have to worry about filling forms and taking them with you. We will do all the biometrics right there. The next time we call you is for you to collect your passport. This is happening. So we are doing what we can as government to try and improve service to our people, but also to ensure that you are documented. Because at each and every gathering we have, I never fail to remind my compatriots, your first obligation in this country is to respect the laws of this country. You must. So now, you know, one of the things we have is in our diplomatic practice, there are protocols, there are procedures, there are ways in which we handle issues. The fact that Johnny Sai might not report, the fact that News Africa may not report that the Ambassador of Zimbabwe has been to DEFCO, the Ambassador of Zimbabwe has been to see Minister Motsoaledi, the Ambassador of Zimbabwe has been to this place, or that the Consul General or officials from the consulate have been to the police or to this place. Doesn't mean we are not doing it. Let me assure you, when we do have incidents where we feel that our people have not been treated well, we will go and complain. We will go and complain. One of the things that I want you to appreciate, we are neighbors in South Africa. We want to be good neighbors, just as much as we would want them to be good neighbors to us. But for me and my team, we have procedures that we follow. I can't be seen going on TV or to the newspapers and complaining and saying these things, because the next thing you may hear, well, they've said, Mr. Ambassador, we've heard enough of you. Please pack your bags and leave. It's not a good sign. But rest assured, any case that we are aware of, that is a case of mistreatment of our people, we will go and talk to them. We will go and register our concern and our complaint. Now, I know I have been talking quite a bit, but I think it's important that we do mention these things. You speak about our nationals who are in disadvantaged positions, who are in these social welfare centers, or in some centers where they need assistance. We would really love to be able to provide even food parcels. But the truth of the matter is we don't have the resources. I don't have, as the embassy or the consulate, a budget to be able to attend to such cases. But what we can do is, when we are aware of such situations, we can request, particularly for those who need repatriation, we can work to ensure that we can repatriate them. This brings me to the issue of the Zimbabwean exemption payments. And I think I'll stop there, because I think I tried to cover a lot of the issues that we have raised. Zimbabwean exemption payments, our government has taken the position that we can not challenge the sovereign decision taken by the South African government to determine the termination of the Zimbabwean exemption payments. Let's be clear, let's be honest amongst ourselves, dear colleagues. And look, I will tell you, I am one of those who is also quite concerned about the disruption of livelihoods, the uprooting of families because of this government decision. to terminate the Zimbabwean exemption permits. But let's face the reality also, that right from the beginning, it was very clear the Zimbabwean exemption permits were temporary.
Yeah.
They were not going to be there in perpetuity. Yes, they were renewed once, twice, but that didn't lend any permanence to them. That is a fact point. But secondly, as government, I always give this illustration. It's an example, could maybe simplistic, but I'll give it anyway. Imagine, I am a father, and I am a father, and I have my child, and it so happens that indeed the situation in my home may be not so good, and my child has to leave home and go and live with a family next door. That family receives my child, they look after them, but they get to a point where they say, well, I think we've done enough. Please, may your child leave our home. Just imagine. And I want you to figure this. Here I am as the father, and I go to the neighbor and I say, no, please, you can't chase my child away. Keep him. This is, look, asking the government of Zimbabwe to say go and negotiate for the continued stay of our nationals here is akin to a father who is now asking another parent to say, look after my child. It's almost like I'm admitting I can't look after my own family. No, the government of Zimbabwe has said, those of our people who are not able to get those permits, please, you can come back home. What are we doing? And again, I'm giving you a bit of some information about things that are going on. Unfortunately, we've not been able to manage our information as deftly as we should have. But there's a lot of work that is going on. Back home, there is already planning committees that have been put in place, interministerial at officials level and at cabinet level, to prepare to receive those of our nationals who are ZEP holders who decide that they want to return home.
At least.
So, but let me proceed, let me continue. What are we doing? At the embassy and the consulates right now, we are in the process of now getting to know, because we don't know where you are. See, the problem is you don't want us to know about you. But when you are in trouble, you want me to know about you and your condition and situation. It's impossible. So now we are embarked on an exercise to know who those stakeholders are. Where are they? What is their problem? So very soon we are going to be talking to Hugo Ribatika. I will give him an interview. I'll be talking to Johnny Sai. We have a plan, a program which is coming even as early as next month. We will be going out to the provinces, registering those people who have Zimbabwean exemption permits, who wish to go back home, and what type of support they need. And I will tell you, there are different segments. There are those who need transport assistance, resettlement assistance, repatriation. We will attend to that. Government is going to put resources for that. There are those who have got businesses, they have equipment, they have acquired property, they want to take it back home, and they want waivers. We will also try to plead on their behalf. It's up to the authorities who deal with those issues to take the decision. But we are going to get as much information as we can get from those who are willing to share that information with us. The government is going to plan for that. And we want to be able to give our people who wish to return home the opportunity to do so in dignity. Back home, as I said, there is an interministerial meeting, interministerial committee. So it's not just here that we are going to try and assist them, but back home they are going to also look at what assistance they can give them. We have school children who will be going back to, who need to be admitted into schools. There is a discussion that is already going on. So, look, but we are at that stage where we are planning at the moment in a total vacuum because we don't know. We only know 178,412 people who have SEPs But are they still, are all of them going to be going home? Some of them going to stay? But we are, all I can tell you is, in a few weeks or so, we should be talking to the media, we should be able to, and we want to ask our colleagues in the media space, all of you, once we start talking about this, let's publicize it as much as we can, so that as many of those who are holders of ZEPs will be able to respond. Regrettably, it's going to be exclusively for the Zimbabwean exception permit holders for now. And the reason is simple. These compatriots are having to leave, not out of their free will, not out of their volition, but they are having to leave because of a decision that has been taken by the government of South Africa. So let me conclude by saying, look, we are here to work together. As the embassy, we are going to be able to deliver a service on the basis also of the information that you may bring to our attention, that we may be able to work on. Finally, let me tell you, we are aware of some of the difficulties that people have in getting access to ministers, getting access to officials, getting some of the things that we would have promised not being delivered. But we are, let me say, I am here with my team. We will knock on doors. But bring those cases to our attention. We will knock on those doors. But I want people, and this is my final word, let me also be open with you. There are some who have come to us promises of so many things. And when we do make those facilitations and they go and make their presentations, I get a phone call. And they say, but Ambassador, are you serious? You know, the moon, we are just waste of time. So please, I would really want us to be serious so that you don't deplete my capital. See, if I have one too many cases of disappointments, I refer you to somebody and you go there and they say, Mr. Ambassador, you should also do some due diligence. It reflects on me. The next time I'll be very reluctant. So I think we need also to be serious so that when we do come, let's have something which is really substantive, solid, and I'm willing to put my name to it, put the authority of my office to it, and also put the authority of the embassy to it. Finally, we are here to work together. We have something that we have agreed on today, and we are going to work on it. Two things. You are going to network and work together. We are going to work for you to be at ZITF. Thank you very much. So I think in any Pamudapeza for tonight, I will enjoy. And I didn't get cake my night before.
I like that.
There's only one ad.
No, I don't have a card. We have to do the numbers.
So the ambassador has just given me the green light to say, I heard you mention interviews on mainstream media, television. He has also given me the green light to mention that for this information to cascade, especially on ZEPs, we'll make an arrangement, or we arrange that we also reach out to popular social media platforms so that this information also
can circulate
to other people so that they can access it through those platforms. So SIS MELLY and obviously, part of Ambassador, these networking platforms will also include church groups. So we'll still pass on the message that way. Thank you very much.
Guys, so we're going to have photos, everyone with the ambassador. So MK is just going to set up.
Yes. Sweden has a working film TV.
Guys, mashuwa kachemo tozoitaura nyaya itatoga mai wakanyaya kuti kwai vanhu mangari mazp holders muchaitirwa something transport muchapiwa zvakaranzi muchaitirwa plan yekuti munosvika kumba makabata chii handi mashuwa tichaona ini zvatotaura pamberi pevanhu kudai ndichange ndakavagara bhamba vachatovagara bhamba kuti transport yehaufa mafasiro aya haufa vanhu vanogara pai vanosvikira kupi ndo basa rangu iroro saka guys mbombirai gatimbodzimai life because vana kuita networking right now but zvatotaura kudai aiwa nditogara bhamba
I know you.